BNP have been in the papers recently. I've seen a bit of racist graffiti that kind of sums up the whole thing. It's in a kind of deprived housing area. On a newsagent, somebody spray painted BNP, and below the BNP, they drew a swastika. Right now, beside this swastika were a couple of unsuccessful attempts at drawing a swastika. They'd obviously misjudged the complexity of the operation. And rather than spray paint over the failed attempts, they left them there. They must have thought you get some form of credit for showing you're working. I was reading the government plans to provide musical instruments to children, like young people from deprived areas, because that'll solve their problems. Musical instruments. No. What's up, son? Your mum's a crack addict. Your dad's in jail. Don't worry. Have a Glockenspiel spell. Problem solved. Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you. Everything's fine. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A lot of fond memories growing up. The good old days. I liked school. My favourite class at school was woodwork. Remember craft and design? I never actually liked the subject. I liked the teacher. See, everybody's woodwork teacher was an alcoholic. I remember this guy, our woodwork teacher. He would just be sitting at his desk about 10 minutes in to the woodwork lesson, and he's not even spoke a word. Right? Just sitting there, going, and he'd face the class and just say, right kids, right children, I've had a tough weekend. I was supposed to go to IKEA, but I spent my wages in odd bins. So one of yous wee pricks make me a spice rack. And when you were 12 years old, that was pressure. When a middle-aged man's marriage depends on your abilities with a tube of glue and a bandsaw. I left school. After school, I remember looking for a job, unemployed, in the job centre. First job you see, a customer service advisor's assistant. None of these jobs, it just gets shiter and shiter every word they use. Just goes mwah, mwah, mwah. Basically means you make the tea for the guy that makes the coffee. Like, everything else is like experience required and qualifications needed. And I was just a dickhead, right? Just left school, don't have much of that. Last option you've got, you can join the army. Right? You've got the British Army recruitment desk. The guy's there. Go on, here, son. Be the best. And I'm thinking, me, join the army, be the best. T-Mobile just said, I don't have enough qualifications to sell phones. Microsoft just said, I don't have enough experience to answer phones. And you want to give me a machine gun? You don't need to be in the army these days to get a gun if you're a young person. A lot of gun crime on the streets, a lot of caps getting popped. I don't really know the solutions. I just know the problems. It used to be in the UK, at 14 years old, you could legally be in possession of an air rifle. Whilst it's not a proper gun, it's still SWAT, right? But that get moved to 17 years old, because you know, 17-year-olds, they're dead responsible. If somebody was pointing a gun at you, you'd be going, that's fine, he looks about 17. It's good. He knows what he's done. 17 years old to be in possession of a firearm, but you've got to be 18 before you can be in possession of fireworks. 17, you can shoot somebody dead, but you've got to wait a year before you can frighten the shite out of a cat. But drugs, I get offered drugs quite a lot in this game. You get offered the usual suspects like ecstasy, speed, and a drug called horse tranquilizer. You shouting yay or nay? There. I can understand people who don't know anything about drugs. Maybe trying ecstasy because it sounds quite good. Well, the connotations of the name, ecstasy. You think of states of euphoria and happiness. And then speed is pretty self-explanatory. Then horse tranquilizer. That hardly sounds the most sociable of evenings. The fact they've replaced the original name with the effect it has on a horse. I think that's the way every drug should be tested. Give a lot of them to horses, then you can see what it actually does to you. It would also make the Grand National pretty interesting. 20 quid on the one that's breakdancing, please. I was watching a programme about children from the opposite end of the social spectrum, a programme called My Super Sweet 16th. Anybody seen this? Don't get too excited, it's quite shite. Right, I was watching it about 2 o'clock in the morning when the TV's quite shite. Anybody watch late night telly? You ever been up that late at night when the TV just goes, get to bed? There's nothing to see here. Unless you're a deaf baseball fan with a gambling problem. Beat it. Does anybody watch these late night Channel 5 phone-in quiz shows? Anybody seen these, like Quiz Mania and The Cash Vault? It's just robbing drunk people. No, you come in at night, there's some guy going, okay, everybody, okay. Thanks for watching, okay. For £10,000, we're looking for a guy's name. You come home steaming. I know a guy's name. £10,000. I know a few guys' names. Watching this Super Sweet 16th, what it is, it's these millionaire parents and they've given their 15-year-old kids a budget to spend on their 16th birthday party. This one young guy, his dad gave him £200,000, right, as a budget to spend on his 16th birthday party. I'm watching this, thinking, if my dad had given me £200,000 to spend on my 16th birthday party, I would be dead. It would make for a more interesting TV show. Your 16th birthday party, you should be grateful for a bottle of Mad Dog 2020. And a smelly finger. Bad time for that hand gesture there. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for listening to my time. Have we got any English in? Woo! Just one person there. I think we're anti-English, Scotland. People confuse us for why don't you support us in major football tournaments? It's every 2 years. You let me get this straight. You actively support the other teams because they're playing England, don't you? That's pretty much it, mate. That's nothing anti-English though. That's just the England football team. Guys like fucking John Terry. You know he's quit, but I look at John Terry in the papers. He looks like the kind of guy, if he never made it as a footballer, you would see him outside a pub in Tenerife or somewhere going, "You guys want a free shot tonight? What's the plan tonight, lads? Coming down to Bull's Head for a free Sambuca? Come on down. You love it, mate. Loads of girls, free shots. Come on down. Just say Jono sent you, big JT. Fucking free shot, mate. Scottish football, we're going through an interesting period there. Feel the fucking division in the camp there. I only said Scottish football. People going, just you fucking tread carefully, pal. I remember watching a Danny Dyer documentary about the old firm, and it was good to see somebody like him. Danny Dyer, he's the prick's prick, isn't he? It's good to see him. No, some nights you just flick through the channels and you see he's on Britain's Most Deadliest Men, him talking to some big wall puncher. Guy's going, I'm the kind of bloke, if you don't mess with me, I'll be all right, but if you mess with me, I'll fuck you up. Danny Dyer's going, can I be your friend? He done a special on football rivalries, and he was outside Ibrox in the morning of an Old Firm game, and he's talking to the camera. This guy made me laugh. He's going Celtic and the Catholics, and Rangers and the Protestants. I'm outside the stadium on Old Firm Day, one of football's most deadliest rivalries. I'm here, outside the stadium, on match day, and I'm not afraid to say, I am fucking shaking. There's people walking behind him, just waving at the camera, going... It was like 10:30 on a Sunday morning. He's going, I'm a fucking soft bloke. I've seen some stuff, but today, I'm fucking petrified. The guy walks behind him with a bacon roll and a cup of tea. He shouts, come on, Rangers. He's going, it's fucking kicked off now. It's a tough one to explain, Scottish football. Which actually happened up there? Wasn't it a two-horse race? That's it, mate. We lost the horse. That's Scottish football's become show jumping. I don't know how they feel, and I know we're fucking getting a wee bit tense in there, but I had to laugh at it. Rangers Football Club, they owed a lot of fucking people money. I read the list of everybody that was owed money, and it just got fucking surreal. They owed like 60 quid was owed to a local newsagent. Right? These small sums that made it mental. About 60 quid to a local taxi firm. And then the one that made me chuckle, it said £40 was owed to a local Glasgow face painting company. And I had to read it a few times. Does that say face painting company? How the fuck did it... 40 quid to a face painting company. And the newspaper article never explained why. There was no backup information, just left that there. As if that's a common footballing expense. A face painting company. The club have been in financial meltdown, and there's some guy running about the boardroom kidding on he's a fucking tiger. Some guy just opening doors going, "Arrgh!" Dare you to do the chairman? I fucking will do the chairman, I fucking do. The boardroom going, will you go and wash your face, you fucking idiot? Try to fix his accounts here, sorry about him, boys. Fucking 40 quid he spent on that. Ah, 40 quid, aye, but it's a fucking cracker. Do you see his whiskers? I've never understood that, the religious divide. I've never understood that. One side shouting, fuck the Pope, the other side shouting, God bless the Pope. I don't think the Pope gives a fuck about the SPL. I think the Pope's a Bundesliga man.